Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Kai, and today I have for you a little bit of a haul. So these are all products that I have picked up over the summer so far. Some of them were gifted to me very kindly. I will talk about that later. A lot of them I purchased, and this isn't even everything. I do have 3 whole DVOK collections to swatch with you all. I have the Sherbet collection here from Mayour. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but we will swatch that. I have some fun little charms and some little decorative items. This here from Bevlah, which is now available through Sweetie Nail Supply for US customers. This is the Memoro flower gels. And yeah, I just thought it was about time to do a haul, catch you up on all of the things that I've recently picked up to use in my nail sets. So yeah, I finally got a new desk, which will be an upcoming video, me going through and reorganizing all of my nail space. But I have a new desk, so lots more space to work with, which also means I have more room for my camera up here. So I do want to do a little bit more like face content, just because a lot of the people that I like watching very much are part of their channel. So I want to be more present whenever possible, whenever I feel like it and have time. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everybody who is subscribed. If you are new here, consider subscribing. I do Korean, Japanese inspired nail art tutorials, hauls like this, and some more informational type videos, vlogs, that kind of thing. So if that sounds good to you, please stay tuned. And without too much more chit-chatting, let's get into the haul. Okay, so first things first, I think let's go over some of the fun decorative items. Now, I'm really lucky in that Hope from Nails Box of Hope, she is another nail YouTuber here who does like Korean Japanese inspired looks and is just as obsessed with Korean Japanese nail polish as I am. She went on a recent trip to Japan. She has some vlogs on her channel that you should definitely check out after this. It's so interesting to watch. I have not been able to get back to Japan since like 2019, I think is when I went last. I would love to go again. But she stopped at a store called Nailtat where they sell all sorts of nail supplies, and she picked me up some decorations, which is very, very kind of her. I am very grateful. She also got me some OSH powders, OSH, I don't really know how to pronounce it, I'll be honest, which you can only get in Japan. I actually recently swatched all of those chromes in a previous video. The last one I posted, it's an ASMR, so definitely check that out if you're interested in seeing all my chromes. But let's look at these dried flowers first. These are from a brand called So Mint right here, and they have a bunch of different varieties of dried flowers. They looked the most natural and nicest when I was looking online. I love dried flowers, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of the cheaper ones that you can find online, they just look fake, right? They're often dyed super vibrant colors, which is like, it's nice, but I'm looking for more of like a natural looking flower. So I asked her to pick these ones up for me. So this is their mixed flower flat series. And then, yeah, I think that's all she was able to find. They only really had a couple of the options. NailTat does have a website, so it can be a little hard to navigate, but they do have a website where you can kind of like shop before if you're going to be going and know what to expect at the store. So here's the first dried flowers. They're just really pretty, like a dusty purple pink mauve color. But if you look at them, they're just super delicate and natural looking. I don't know if they add any dyes to these, and if they do really good job. It looks really nice, really natural. You get a variety of, it looks like petals, whole flowers, and the leaves, which I like. So yeah, I'm super excited to use these. I have a floral set planned that I think these will go great with. It's like a clear floral design. It's gonna be really special. Hopefully that will be my next design video. But this is, again, the Flower Flat series, and this is number 5. So yeah, I recently went on a vacation, which is why I was gone for like 3 weeks. But I actually stopped by London, which is where Hope is located, and we were able to meet up and do like a little exchange. So that's where I was able to pick up all these goodies. And again, so grateful to her. She's the sweetest. So definitely check out her channel. I'll insert a little picture like up in the corner of our nails when we met up. I will have a vlog coming out at some point, hopefully, of my trip and how my press-on nails lasted over it. So we'll talk more about that then. But here is number 4. Sorry, no. Okay, the naming. Okay, so actually this first one was the Flower Flat Series 5, number 2. So they have multiple flat flower series. This is the 5th in the series, and then this is the 2nd color. And then this one is number 4. So 4 is going to be like a dusty blue. Again, I love these. They're so natural looking. I did see Mint on Amazon. I don't think they had everything available though. They had more of the like the fakey looking ones on Amazon when I had checked. Yeah, that's so pretty. I love these. It's almost like a blue purple. Again, super muted, which I really like. I like that natural look. This is like exactly what I was looking for in a dried flower. What can I say? I'm basic. I like muted colors and pastels. All right, okay, and here this one from the 4th flat flower series, but it's color number 1. So this one's slightly different. Ooh, okay. I honestly, this 4 series, I really like this. The petals look even bigger. I don't know if you can see here, but the petals look a little bit bigger. It's got, I would say, more of a mix of colors, like lots of purples and pinks, but also some nice, almost oranges and yellows. Again, still very natural and pretty. I really like this brand. I'm gonna look around. I'm hoping I can source it from somewhere so that I can order more to the US, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe I can reach out to Sweetie Nail Supply and see if it would be worth it to them to source these, because they're so pretty and I think a lot of people would really like them, honestly. Actually, let me know down in the comments, do you like these more natural looking flowers? Because if so, maybe I can see if I can suggest them and get them sourced somewhere. Okay, now part of the exchange was also just exchanging some gifts for each other. So she got me these cute little butterflies. They're like a clear with pink and purple iridescent sparkles. I'll go ahead and put them in a tray because they're too cute. They're just like little acrylic butterflies, but I do like butterflies. And my favorite colors are pink and purple and blue and green, but definitely pink and purple. So these are right up my alley. And they're just so cutely packaged. Like, look at that. Don't get me wrong, I like buying off of AliExpress. It's cheap. There's a lot of variety, but the stuff from like stores where they sell them in person are just packaged nicer. Often they're just a little more aesthetically pleasing. Oops. So it looks like you get 3 of each color, and yeah, they're just dainty, cute little butterflies. Oh, they're almost like faceted. The butterflies themselves, the acrylic, I don't know if you can see that, but they definitely have like the gem faceting to them, where they have like the beveled edges. That's very cute. I like that little added detail. Up next, I have to show this. It's not a nail product, but she got me this gift. It's just a little cinnamon roll keychain. And look at how freaking adorable this is. I love Cinnamon Roll. He's definitely my favorite Sanrio character. And little baby Milk up here is so adorable. And then I love the little bird. I don't know if this is supposed to be, oh gosh, what is it called? It's funny, it's called a tit, like T-I-T, but it's like a little type of fluffy bird. If you're from like the Americas, you might be familiar with a chickadee. It's almost like a chickadee, but even like puffier and cuter. They're called snow fairies, the snow variety in Japan. I can't remember the Japanese name right now, but yeah, they're called tits, which is funny, but they're just super adorable. So I just thought that was too cute. She also got me these little color changing ribbons. It's actually a mix. It's like bows and flowers and butterflies. So they're clear now, but when you get them warm, like if they're exposed to the heat of your hands or if they're exposed to the sunlight, they actually turn pink, which is a really cool concept. These are from Daiso. I am so jealous of people who have a Daiso by them. I want to go to one so bad, but it's probably best. I'm already addicted to other things in person, blind boxes and all that kind of stuff, so I don't really need more things to be spending my money on, but Daiso is kind of like a dollar store situation where things are really cheap, but they have nail supplies, like nail decorations. I'd love to go to one day, but we'll see. I think I'd have to drive to like Georgia or something like that. So here's what they look like. They're just clear now. And then when you put them in warmth, I'm gonna stick them under the lamp and see if that works. They change color. Okay, so they are actually UV reactive. It's not temperature. I stuck these under the lamp for like 2 seconds and they're already this vibrant. And as they get faded, they fade back to clear, which is so cool. So when you go out in the sunlight, they will change color. And then when you go back inside, they change back to clear. I stuck them in a little bit longer just to see how dark they would get. And this is what they look like. Super cute concept, very cool. So she also got me some stickers. So these ones are so pretty. They are like little sakura cherry blossoms with little wreaths and just some dainty glitters. I don't know if you can see there, but they're gold. They have like gold chrome to them. Super pretty. I really like these. And they look high quality. Like the print on them is super detailed. I like that they include this clear window in the back here just to show you like how high quality it is and what it would look like over a nail so you can kind of like test it out. I think that's super cool. So yeah, these are also from Daiso. And then more cherry blossom stickers. These are just pretty little like peachy flowers with a darker pink outline. Again, with that clear background, I really like that. I feel like more sticker companies should do that. These stickers, honestly, I should have put them on the nails I have on now, because it's like perfectly matching. But yeah, just super cute, super dainty. And then these two here are from OSH, however you say it, somebody help me. But they are just like little white bows and little silver bows. They're cut in half because we share them. They were some freebies that we split. So yeah. Super cute. So speaking of OSH, this is the one thing I didn't show off in my recent chrome swatching because it's not necessarily a chrome, it's actually a magnetic flake powder. So what it is it's large magnetic particles that you're supposed to be able to mix with any gel and then magnetize it. So I'm gonna try this out a little bit later once I start swatching things. Speaking of magnetizing, this is a magnet from Inoi. It is the large stick magnet, the round one. She picked this up for me also from, I think, NailTat. And this is a super sturdy, like super heavy rod magnet. So I can tell that it's going to be strong. It's going to get the job done. You can definitely get rod magnets elsewhere. But honestly, this is probably the heaviest that I've felt. Yeah, I actually have this one here. I don't remember where I got it. I think it was like Amazon, Temu, something like that, you know? But there's a physical difference in how heavy each of these are. You can also see maybe this one, the metal coating on the outside is much thinner. This one is much sturdier, which may be why it's a little bit heavier. But I'm interested to test both of these out actually. And then the last thing she got me is this Ageha cream art gel in white. It's supposed to be for like super textured 3D looks, which if you know me, I love my 3D textured nails. So let's see, I guess I can go ahead and swatch it now. I didn't really want to put gloves on yet, but we'll open it. We'll take a look. See, maybe if I can get this open. There we go. Or not. Send help, please. I love doing my nails, but there's a reason that I leave my right hand usually as just like a natural overlay, and it's because I get so annoyed when I can't do things when I'm wearing, I'll be honest. So let's just take a little look here. Ooh, wow, yeah, okay, so that's super stiff. You can tell that it's like not going anywhere. Ooh, that's really nice. Okay, I could see how this would be very good for like a textured whipped cream look, like a meringue look, something like that. I do have the DVOK white texture gel that I really love. This one is very smooth though. Like, I don't know if you can see, it's got a clear shine to it. So I don't think it's comparable to the DVOK. The DVOK is a little bit more grainy. It's to emulate like oil paints, whereas this one is super smooth. Because I'm curious, I'm just gonna stick a spatula in here and see what it's like in terms of thickness. Okay, yeah. I would say it is very similar to, if you've used like the Madame Glam white embossing gel, I would say it's similar to that. You can get some really nice stiff peaks there, as you can see. It does self-level like a little bit, but I can really anticipate this being a nice embossing gel. I don't know if it's non-wipe, so let's test that out, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put this on a little palette here. Just a little bit like that, and we'll cure this and we'll see if it's non-wipe. It's probably similar to the Holy gels, which I actually don't have. I would like to get them, they're meringues, but I haven't picked them up. You know what? Actually, I do think it is non-wipe because I'm wiping this and I don't feel any sort of tackiness. Very nice. So it probably would work with chrome too, with chrome isolation. So here's one of those OSH chromes that I just watched in that recent video. If you want to see how I did them, watch me organize everything, I will have that linked in the description. To be fair, I don't know if this is marketed as chrome friendly, but it's not really taking the chrome. So I would say no for chrome, but it is a really nice white embossing gel. Oh, and the actual last thing is this little nail sticker sheet from Amifa. I'm not sure, but she also picked this up for me. And what it is basically is it's this transparent sheet with like a sticker layer on it where you're supposed to be able to paint on the transparent sheet, kind of like cut around the area that you painted, peel it off, and it's a sticker. Now, I've been meaning to try a way to make stickers where you use Mod Podge. I saw that on, I think Instagram, somebody was selling sticker templates and they just use Mod Podge. So that will have to be an upcoming video. So just out of curiosity, I just wanted to see like how thick this was. And it's, I don't know if you can even really see that, but it's not the thinnest, but it's also not the thickest. It is very sticky. Like I can feel that it's going to adhere very well to the nail. But yeah, I don't know. I would be interested in definitely trying it out and also comparing it to the Mod Podge method. So speaking of stickers, I did pick these up from Zillabeau. I don't know. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways, but I thought I heard somebody on their page call it Zillabeau, so that's what I'm going with for now. But these are a collaboration with Macon and Ash Shop, which I love Ash Shop's nails. She does amazing work. I don't know if it's Ash OP, Ash Shop, Ashop. I really don't know, but she's on Instagram and she does really cool tutorials. And I thought these were so neat. They are like a pink chrome. So instead of your basic like silver holographic chrome, they're a pink holographic chrome. So yeah, they're almost like a rose gold, I would say. And then they have the like blue shift and then the hollow rainbow colors when you shine it the right way. Super nice. I'm really excited to use these. I love doing chrome, but it is quite messy. So the stickers that I'm mostly drawn to are often things that are like really intricate designs or things like this where it's a chrome. And I can kind of skip the step of having to hand paint on the design, cover it with the chrome, get the dust everywhere. So yeah, I just thought these were super pretty. Okay, and then from Macon, I also got a bunch of these little like decorative metallic charms. So some of these are from another collaboration with Ash Shop, and then some are from a collaboration with ILY, which I'm not familiar with ILY if it's a nail artist or like a company, But let's look at these ones first then. They're so tiny, I have to zoom in quite a bit, but these ones specifically are meant for bordering gemstones. So like your flat back rhinestones. So these ones are number 3, the angle curve, and these are meant for, I believe, your diamond rhinestones. They're super tiny and delicate. They are quite expensive though. I think this pack of 2 was like $2 in and of itself. You can just tell that the quality is really worth it. They're so delicate and such tiny metalwork that I understand why they're a little more on the expensive side. I'm sure if you were like in Korea and they weren't being imported, they'd be a little bit cheaper. You best believe when I'm going to Korea that I am picking up all of the nail charms, all of the like little things that I can bring back. So yeah, here's what they look like, and they're just meant to border a rhinestone. So let me dig out a diamond rhinestone. So you just position it over the tip of it like that, and it covers it and just adds a little bit of an extra decoration. I think it looks super cool. You could probably do this with chrome too, with a really delicate hand. I really love the look of this. It'll definitely have to be for a special set because again, they're quite expensive, but I think honestly kind of worth it. Now these are the same, but these are the silver number 5, and these are for the, I guess it would be an octagonal, the rectangular ones, but with the cut off corners, those rhinestones. So let's take a look at these ones. So yeah, same thing with these ones. You just glue down the rhinestone first, I would say, and then you slide this over the corner. And it just adds another really nice decorative element. I don't know. I really like them, unfortunately, because they're expensive and I'm addicted to shiny things, which means I'm gonna have to get more. And then I also got these 3 other sets from the Louvre collection. This is number 1 in gold, number 2 in gold, and number 2 in gold because I messed up. So on the website, they have this collection all as one listing, but they don't tell you which style is which number, and I had made the wrong assumption about the numbers. So what I was really going for was, I'll try to insert like a little picture up in the corner. They have little posts that will come down from these frames, so you can make like a really nice intricate archway. So it's like a metal post that comes down from the frame. I thought that's what these were. So I thought I was buying 1 frame, 1 archway, and then 2 of the columns. But instead I bought 3 archways. So they're cute. They're really pretty, super delicate. I will open them to show you. But yeah, I made a mistake. So, oh no, I'll have to go order more. It is actually bad. I need to save money. I'm pretty good about like buying within my means. But I definitely sometimes can go a little overboard. And I do not have a Zillabeau code. I might reach out, I might shoot my shot, we'll see. Okay, so here's what this one looks like. I can't even zoom in to show you enough detail, but they're just super tiny, delicate little gold archways with like a little flower at the top and a little kind of like curl at the bottom, super cute. And then the other style, number 1. So number 1 is a little bit more decorated, a little bit more intricate. I will say they are a little bit bent. Like you can see this one lays nice and flat, and this one is coming up off the tray a little bit. I don't think that's a problem. I think you could probably pretty easily bend them back into shape. But just because they are so delicate, you might want to be careful with them. They just look like they could be easily twisted. But super pretty. Okay, so in order to actually adhere the charms, I did go ahead and pick up the Make-In Parts Cover Gels. So there is a glue here, and then one that's supposed to be an overlay. I've seen a lot of people use this. It's supposed to be like a really nice thick nail glue. I currently use a combination of like the Macart glue and or the Ivy Fix Gel. And both are really nice. The Ivy Fix Gel is a little bit more sturdy, but I was curious about trying a new type, a new brand. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open these up just to see what the texture is like on them. Okay, so this one's supposed to be the actual glue. Oh, interesting. It's got like a plastic cover. That's nice. Ooh, okay. Honestly, I get why people like this. It's quite thick. That's definitely gonna stick your gems in place and then hold them there while you're manipulating them. I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but it's super tacky. Like, it's lifting up the paper itself. That's how tacky it is, and that's not cured. So yeah, this is gonna be really, really nice for sticking on like those big gems that tend to slide around, the big charms. I fully understand the hype. I'll be honest. It's hard sometimes to tell in videos how thick something is exactly, because I kind of thought this was going to be very similar to that IV fix gel. The IV one I really like, but it's definitely not quite as tacky as this. So if you are somebody who likes really big charms, you need something to hold it in place, I'm really liking this so far. So let's just open up the cover, because this is what you're supposed to overlay the charms with. So it's interesting, this one is a lot clearer. This one definitely had more of like a yellow tone to it, which might be part of its like thickness, its staying power, which if it's under charms, you're not really gonna see that. But I like that the overlay then is more of a true clear. Let's see. And this one's much more liquidy. It's still quite viscous, like definitely high viscosity. I would compare it maybe to like the Dayami Silly Jello for chrome, but this is more just to seal in your gems and to use like around rhinestones. So yeah, I like this duo. I got the small one to test because I already have so many other clears. I didn't want to get the big one in case I didn't really like it. But so far, I'm impressed. All right, so now we can get to swatching. So this is the Mayour Sherbet collection, which I was blown away with by the promo materials. I'm hoping it looks just as good in person. So this is a set of like rainbow colored magnetic gels that also have a rainbow shift them. So here's the package. I think it's super cute. I love the Mayour bottles, I will say. They're super nice. They have this little like protective cap over the top. It's almost like a little lipstick container, which if you know me, I'm a sucker for good packaging. So I love that. I do have a black jelly gel from Mayour, which I do really like. So I'm hoping that I like these as well. And then the top has a swatch already, but we will go ahead and swatch these. Here's the little swatch card. It's just a little fold out card. Like that. And then you do get a magnet with it as well. Let's see, what type is this? Okay, and it's a rod magnet. These are actually some of my favorite types, these like fat rod magnets here. I find them to be really strong. I have one from my Mayo Eros collection, and it's one that I reach for almost all of the time. So I am happy to get one of these. And here are all the colors. You get like a deep pink, more of a peachy pink, a purple, a blue, a green, and then another more like peachy pink. This one's actually more like an orange, I guess. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what these look like on the nail. So let's start with this pink color first. This is number 30. Ooh, boy, not 30, 83. So again, they've got these cool like caps on them. I really like that detail. I don't know. And here's what it looks like in the bottle. Ooh. It's like a deep rosy pink, and you can see all of the rainbow glitters in there already. It is a thicker formula, which I don't mind as a cat eye gel because I've found that cat eye often does look best if you can manage to do like one thicker layer rather than multiple layers, because then you just get a stronger effect and you don't have to worry about like magnetizing both layers the same exact way. So here's what it looks like before magnetizing, and then can we bring the rainbow out? Yeah. Okay. I don't know how well it's translating on camera, but I can definitely see the rainbow in real life. There we go. Oh yeah, you can see it on camera. Oh, that's super neat. That's really pretty. I would say You definitely need a strong magnet for this. And it looks like the rainbow is predominantly like a purple color, which I don't mind. I love purple. But yeah, that's super cool. So up next is number 84, and it's this like orangey color here. Ooh, okay. It's definitely more of like a muted tan orange. I was kind of expecting something a little bit more vibrant. Because it is this thick consistency, it does build up really nicely. I will say that. I think you really want to go until you get that like purple shining through, and that's when you know you've got the full rainbow effect. Honestly, it's not my favorite because I don't really wear like a lot of nudes. I almost would have preferred a deeper orange, but if you are looking for a fun like rainbow nude color, this would be really good. Now this one I am looking forward to. I do like purple, so this is MZ85. Ooh, yeah, that's super pretty. Again, more of like a muted purple. These colors are quite muted. They're not like super vibrant, I would say. But with that rainbow, I understand why there's the contrast. Okay, so the purple's really not super vibrant. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit of a thicker layer on here. Maybe that will bring out more of the purple, but I don't think so. I think this is kind of as vibrant as we're gonna get. Now you definitely could layer this over like a purple syrup polish, and that would look really nice. But the base color of the cat eye is not gonna be super strong. I will say, if you're worried about the cat eye activating and getting the full rainbow, don't be, because that part works really well on these. And maybe they have to be more of like a sheer color for that to work. I guess that makes sense. Very nice. All right, up next we have 86, and this is the blue. Ooh, okay, so this is like an aqua blue. Or maybe it only looks that way because of the particles. And I really do think these would look best over like a matching syrup base to just really bring out those background colors. That one's really pretty. I do like that one a lot. All right, and then we have 87, which is the green. Okay, and this is like a nice olivey green. This one definitely matches the bottle. It's like a good sagey color. I've never seen like a green rainbow cat eye. I've definitely seen like blues and pinks, purples too, but this green is really interesting. Okay, I kind of really like this one for like a fairy set, some sort of magical forest design. This really nice sage with the rainbow on top. That's really pretty. This one might be my favorite, which really surprises me. I thought it would be like the blue or the purple, but I think it might be this green. It's just so unique. I don't know. Okay, and last but not least is 88, and I might try something different with this one. I think what I'll do is I will start with an unmagnetized layer just to see how much I can build up that color. But yeah, this is a pretty like peachy pink, more of a nudie pink. Okay, so I am curious how the pigment will look if it's not magnetized. It's ever so slightly glittery, but it doesn't have the rainbow per se. Okay, so now let me go in with a second layer. Okay, that does help build up the coverage of the color, so you could do that. You could go in with the first layer and then not magnetize it, actually pull the particles to the bottom, and then go in with a second layer to get your magnetic effect. Yeah, this one's very cute. It's just like a nice nudie pink, and it definitely activates well too. I'm curious. I just want to see what it looks like with the spotlight effect. Kind of neat. You can get like a little rainbow halo almost. I'll definitely have to play around with these because they're very cool in how they form a rainbow. I've never fully understood holo, I'll be honest, and like how it works, but it's cool. All right, so here is the Sherbet collection. Sherbet. I say Sherbet. They are really pretty. The rainbow effect is super apparent. It's really easy to get. I do wish that the base colors were just a little bit more vibrant, but I do understand that I think to get such a strong rainbow effect, they probably have to be pretty clear, pretty jelly. I am gonna turn down a couple lights just so we can see what it looks like under like a single light source. All right, so if I only have one light going, that rainbow in person definitely is like even more vibrant. It's almost like it's not glow in the dark, but you know what I mean. Very apparent, very cool. I do like the collection, and I feel like if you can get it on sale, it's even better. I did pick these up from Zillabeau during their summer sale, so I got, I think it was 25% off. But yeah, that was the Sherbet collection. Okay, so now let's switch over to the things I got from Sweetie Nail Supply. So this is from Bevlah, and again, Bevlah is now available to US customers. For a while, they were exclusive only to, I think, another supplier, but now they're back with Sweetie Nail Supply for US, which I'm super excited about because I have one of the cottage core gels, and it's super pretty. It's like a floral terrazzo, and these are as well. This is the Memoro flower glitter set. It comes with 6 polishes, and it has like one of these sleeves that you just slide off. Now this was gifted to me, so just keep that in mind. I like to be transparent whenever things are sent to me, but I'm never paid to like say certain things about the product. I'm never told that I can only say like good things. In fact, we've often been asked as affiliates, like if we have feedback for them to send along to brands, which I really appreciate. And this is really cool. I didn't know this. So it comes with 2 swatch cards, it looks like. One that is opaque on the back, and then one that's clear. And I think this is because these are really meant to be like overlay gels that you put over a color or some sort of background design. And so if you swatch on here, you can test how it's going to look over other swatches, which I think is super smart. I love that they included both. So that's really nice. And then here are the gels. The bottles are super cool looking. They have this like wood look to them, to the handles. The handles are nice and long, so you get a good grip. Got the little BV embossed on the top, and then the actual label shows you what color it is, which is very handy if you are reaching for colors to have it already kind of like laid out and swatched for you. So that's Kismet. So that's the last one. So where does this start? Okay, here. So it starts with, oh gosh, these are all French words, aren't they? Itole? Not sure. But this is the first one. Ooh, okay, and this is the white sparkly one. That's super pretty. So it's got like very iridescent sequins in it, and then also these white flower flakes. Guys, I'm such a sucker for like fun, chunky glitters. That's so nice. And Bevlah honestly has some of the coolest ones. I was so sad when Sweetie Nail Supply had to make them a Canadian exclusive back, I think like early last year. So here is that first one, NG01. It's got so many different types of glitter. It has like small hexagonal glitters, large iridescent, straight metallic glitters, and then the like white flakes. Next is NGO2, and this is Liebling, I think. Ooh, and I already know I'm gonna like this one. This is a pink glitter flower gel. Just look at that. It's got like peachy tones in there as well, and almost like yellow. Oh, that's so pretty. That's so nice. I just love the variety in these. You get the like little flakies and all the different glitters. And the gel itself is quite clear. Like it's not super cloudy. The only reason it looks cloudy is because these swatches themselves have like a sanded underside, because you are meant to swatch on the underside so you can see what it looks like with a clear coat. I do it on top because a lot of people like to see how it self-levels. But like if I were to paint on the underside here, you can see it makes it super clear. So I do appreciate that. Is Bevlah's gels also have quite a clear background to them. And I just found this in the package, so they're now including the little swatch stones too. So that's really cool. I love the glass swatch stones. I picked them up from AliExpress. So this one here is an orange called Flutter. Ooh, okay, it's more of like a peachy orange. It's not a super vibrant orange, which is really pretty. Okay, so while we're swatching, I did just want to briefly talk about why I purchased from Sweetie Nail Supply. I did talk about this in the live recording, but I forgot to mention some details that I wanted to bring up, so this is a voiceover after the fact. I know there's been some information recently about Sweetie Nail Supply and maybe some questions about why things are priced the way they are. And I am not here to tell anybody where to buy their materials. I'm just going to explain why I personally choose to order through like Sweetie Nail Supply and Zillabeau. And I'm fully aware that at this point, like I'm biased because I am an affiliate with Sweetie, but even before that, I was ordering from them pretty religiously for my Korean nail products. For me, it is mainly the convenience. So importers pay the price of getting everything shipped over. They make sure that the brands that they're bringing over are following whatever guidelines are for whichever country that they are selling in. Here in the United States, the FDA regulates nail polish and nail products. The sites are just really easy to navigate because for me, it's in my native language and everything is translated in-house. I do know that from Sweetie Nail Supply that they hire translators to make sure all of the product information is in English in an accurate way so that you can read about the products that you're buying. The companies also have to pay maybe like tariffs to get things into their country to make them more accessible, instead of like you paying the tariffs up front when you get a shipment in from another country. However, that convenience does come with an upcharge, and I completely understand if people cannot pay that, and so they would rather go with maybe like a direct distributor from South Korea if they have access to one. For me, I can see where the markup could be justified. I don't think that the prices are that crazy, especially now that they've been able to lower some of them, working with brands, especially brands like DVOK. So like I mentioned, they've now been able to lower that price to about $14 a bottle, which is awesome. And I hope that that continues as things become more easily accessible, as Korean brands start seeing that yes, there is a demand for that in the United States, because when I started using Korean gels, there were very few distributors, right? Sweetie Nail Supply was like one of the first ones that I was at least aware of in North America. So yeah, that's why I choose to purchase from them. But of course, everybody is free to choose who they would like to purchase from. They believed in me as a really small creator, and I don't mind supporting small businesses because at the end of the day, I do know that there is a need for profit. If you're a business, that's just kind of like how it works. So yeah, that's my spiel. But this one's really pretty. I actually like it a lot more than I thought I would. It's definitely more of like a pinky yellow color. All right, next we have Aerotas. Ooh, it's like a purple yellow green mix. Oh, that's so pretty. So these are definitely like toppers. They're meant to go over colored syrup gels. And actually, this set you can buy as a set of 12 that comes with 12, not 12, sorry. It comes with 6 syrup gels that are like matching bases. I do really like this purple green combo. Very cool. And then we have Dazzling, which is the yellow. Ooh. Okay, so this is like the yellow pink. It is similar to, I would say Flutter, I think is the one that we swatched, but this one's an even darker pink, I think. And the gel is on the thicker side, so if you find that your glitters are not exactly where you want them, you can kind of like manipulate them and move them where you'd like before curing, and they stay in place. Okay, and last but not least is that blue, Kismet. Okay, so that's quite the light blue. It's like a blue-yellow mix again. I think some of these are iridescent, and then some of them are more metallic. And this one is looking very iridescent. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. Like this one here is Kismet, and this one is Etoile, however you say it. And this one is like very much more of a metallic. Similar color story to this one, but it's more of an iridescent. Very cool. All right, so here are all of the flower gels from the Memoro collection. So it's the Romantic and Memoro collection, and the Memoro is the flower glitters. I really like them. I love Bevlah's glitters. I think they're so unique. They have so many different textures. Here, I'll zoom in even more, but hopefully you can see. They've got like the little tiny glitters, the hexagonal glitters, the flakes, and all these fun colors. I'm a big fan, and I'm super happy that you can get them now at Sweetie Nail Supply again. And I just think they're a fun way to add to a look. I love doing like colored pencil art over a terrazzo gel like this, or even just isolating them to an area. It's just a super easy way to fill in, I feel like, background space without much work. Very cute. All right, it's time for DVOK. So I am a bad content creator. I went on vacation and didn't upload for like 3 weeks. And before I had left, I had purchased the Unicorn collection from DVOK. I had also received as PR the Chilling collection. And then when I got back from my trip, I also received the Once in a Summer 3 collection. So I'm way behind on my DVOK swatches, but I have been trying to do more like little shorts and things. So if you haven't checked out my Instagram, I am posting some like short form stuff there. I also do post it to YouTube too. But Instagram is more for like pictures and short form tutorials and things like that. I post little behind the scenes stories sometimes. So that will be linked in the description. But I figured I need to go ahead and swatch these for you all. So I had already actually unpacked all of these and put them up on my shelves before I sat down to film the haul. So that's why the insert's missing. Normally there's like a little cardboard insert in here to make sure that the gels stay organized and they're not like free floating. So don't think that that's how this is typically sent to you. This is just how I have it now for the sake of this video. But I have already done the swatch card. Here it is. These are all different shades of like jelly polishes that have a golden magnetic shift to them. That's why it's called Chilling, is because it's supposed to be reminiscent of like champagne, bubbly champagne, which is usually like a golden color. I actually used this color here in one of my recent sets and one that I did for my trip, if you haven't checked out that tutorial. But I do really like gold. I think it's just because of my skin tone. It looks good with my skin tone. I like silver too, but the gold definitely drew me into this collection. These are available individually now as well, so if you see one here that you really like and you just want to pick up a single, they are on Sweetie Nail Supply. Some of them, I will say, maybe are leaning a little bit close if you don't want to get the whole collection. So like these two I would say are pretty similar. This one's darker, so I would say this one's different enough. These two are pretty similar. These ones are kind of similar. This one's leaning a little bit more green, a little bit more yellow. But I will go ahead and we'll swatch each one so you can see it in more detail. All right, so we're starting off with DM42. Now, the way that DVOK names their polishes is it's going to be a D, and then the second letter indicates what type it is. So M is for magnetic, S is for syrup, I think P is for like a cream gel, and then S is for, sorry, not S, G is for a glitter gel. So it's basically just DVOK type of gel, and then the number just goes up from where they started at 1, and each new collection increases in number. And DVOK's cat eye formula, depending on the collection, can be a little bit on the thicker side, which I personally, again, don't mind. I like being able to get a thick layer for that first layer so that you really get a deep cat eye effect. And there we go. So by the way, the easiest way to get this velvet effect that I found is to go against one side of the swatch with the magnet like perpendicular like this, and then turn it parallel and just run it up next to your swatch or your nail, just like once or twice. And then you can kind of like round out the bottom and you get that nice like super shiny reflective bit in the center. This is going to be with a rod magnet, by the way. So that's DM42. And here is DM43. This one's more of like a yellowy champagne color. These do magnetize really easily. I've never really had an issue magnetizing DVOK's magnetic gels. They just work. Alright, DM44 is more of a peachy color, almost like a rose gold. This one's really pretty. Because it does have this like thicker formula, I can go in and layer a little bit more of the polish on and not worry too much about it like pooling significantly around the edges. And that way you just get a little bit more of a color payoff right on your first layer. And that's 44. So you can see it's more of like a coppery color underneath. Almost like a nudie color. Leans a little bit warmer though, I would say, than a true nude. DM45 is going to be a little bit more of a cool toned pink, still in that same like rose gold vein, but the actual base color of this polish is a little bit more of like a purpley mauvey color. It is pretty. I do like this one. And then here is 45, where we're getting more into like the pink territory with that sort of mauvey background. Now 46 is quite similar to the last, but I noticed it has more of like a coppery glow to it. I don't know if it's the magnetic particles are slightly different, but it reads more copper on the swatch, which is nice. I like the variation. Really pretty, almost like coppery color. Okay, and then up next we have 47, which is probably my favorite pink from the collection. This one is definitely more of like a true pink with that gold, just so perfect together. I love pink and gold together. I think it's so magical. So this one is very much up my alley. If you're gonna pick up like just a couple, I would strongly recommend this one. So here's that pink. I really like this color. I actually wore it for a while on my natural nails, just to have something on them, and alone it was gorgeous. Up next is 48, more of like a mauve purple with the gold. Also very pretty. I do like this one as well. Okay, and then 49 is a more like muted, cool toned purple. It's almost like a gray. Okay, so unfortunately my camera stopped recording. My card got filled up. So I was swatching just now this like almost purple gray color. And then I did miss the swatch of this color here. This is DM50, which is a really pretty like deep blue, almost like a Cinderella blue. And we're on to our last, which is 51, which is probably my favorite from the collection other than that pink, because it's this gorgeous aqua blue with the gold shift, which looks absolutely stunning for any sort of water design. All right, so here are the Chilling collection polishes. Very pretty, very, very shiny. If you are not into gold though, this definitely is not going to be the collection for you. I think that if you are going to pick up just a couple, I would say go for like the cooler tone ones down here, if that's your vibe. I love this. The purple is so pretty. And then this blue at the end is just stunning. Some of them up here are a little bit repetitive, but I think that they make gorgeous like golden neutral cat eyes that if you're like a nail tech and you have clients who like cat eye but don't like anything too crazy, too out there, these are just subtle enough to not be too flashy but also have that really interesting like gold shift to them. So yeah, I think they're really pretty. And you can get the individuals now as well. Okay, now this next DVOK collection, I was blown away when it came out. I was so excited for it based on the promo videos and the promo photos because it is the Unicorn collection. So it is the purple set full of magnetic gels and glitter gels. And anything purple and sparkly, you've got me right there. I am weak, what can I say? I like sparkly, I like purple. Those are my two favorites. So of course, I purchased this myself. This one was not gifted to me. So I recently used this in a K-pop Demon Hunter set. If you have not seen that video, definitely go check it out. It was my most recent design and it was definitely an experiment. I try a character nail for the first time, but I was saying in that one, I think the promotional materials for this specific collection did not do it justice. So oftentimes promotional materials, I will say, they're shot in the best lighting. They're shot often with like really high quality cameras that you get kind of like the very best picture of what those collections will look like. And sometimes depending on the phone that you're using or depending on how the footage was edited, it can look a little bit different than real life, right? Oftentimes, let's be honest, a little bit better than it does in real life. But this one, the promotional materials kind of wiped out just how different the tones were in this collection and made them look a lot more similar. So let me zoom you in. But I cannot get over how stunning all of these polishes are. There's not one in here that I don't like. Like, I think this is one of the nicest collections, especially if you're like a purple blue lover, because honestly, this part of the collection is very purple, and then these ones are more of like a dusty blue. So yeah, you just get variation in the color and the textures between them. We will go ahead and let's swatch each one. Okay, so this is 30 and it's going to be a glitter gel. I believe it might even be reflective because I can see just how sparkly it is in my studio lights right now. Now I will say these colors are quite sheer, so they do benefit from a matching base color or just multiple layers. Honestly, I would go with a matching base color because they're so glittery that you don't really necessarily need multiple layers to build up the glitter. It would just be to build up the opacity of the base color. And with glitter gels, you do need a more sheer base. Otherwise, the polish that coats the glitters isn't going to let it shine through. So they are going to be on the sheer side. And that one is just super pretty. Again, just really shiny. It's got the blue and the silver glitter in there. Up next is DM52, and this is going to be a similar tone, but it is a magnetic gel. So very similar to the last one, except for instead of glitters, this has the same kind of like blue and silver magnetic particles. While I'm swatching these, I did just want to chit chat with you all a little bit. I thought this would be the perfect time. So I go back to school in 2 weeks, technically. I go back in a week for pre-teaching, and then the kids come back in like 2.5 weeks. I am making the big leap of going part-time this year. I will still be covering the core classes, so English 1, 2, 3, and 4 for my high schoolers, but I am dropping my electives, which means I'm very excited to have more time to dedicate to making videos. I did want to change some things up though, namely my upload date. I'm thinking maybe like a midweek upload instead, so either Wednesday or Thursday, just so that I can have like the whole weekend to film things and then edit throughout the week. It's easier for me to edit on weekdays and then film on weekends than it is to try to like come home, get everything set up for filming after working. So let me know what you think. Do you prefer Wednesdays or Thursdays, or do you really like the weekend uploads? I'm just trying to kind of feel things out so far. So that is the magnetic gel. Similar to the chilling, it almost has like a gold shine to it, but then it's got that really pretty blue glitter in there. It's a really nice shade. Up next is another magnetic, and this is 33, DM33. This one's going to be a deeper purple. Really nice. I'm blown away by all of these. I love all of them. I'm just a simple person, you know? Sparkles and purple. Speaking of content, I also wanted to ask what you guys would like to see in terms of my tutorial videos. So I love doing nail tutorials, nail art tutorials. I love experimenting with them. Oftentimes the designs I make, they're maybe not the most practical, but I love 3D. I love trying new skills, trying to really push the boundaries of the materials that I use. And I really like doing the voiceover, and I really hope this doesn't come off as like complaining or anything at all. This is just me asking for feedback, but they do tend to do like the worst in performance on my videos, so like they get the fewest amount of views, which again, please don't take that as complaining or anything. I'm genuinely curious, like what kind of tutorials do you like seeing? What do you like seeing as part of a nail art tutorial? I can't really do ASMR all the time. I try to do a couple like ASMR organizing videos, but I share this office space with my boyfriend, and so I can't always be recording in here. He has to use it too. So yeah, I'm just curious what you guys like in a nail design tutorial. What is helpful to you? Here's another magnetic gel, 54. I know some people have requested simpler designs, and I think what I'm going to do with the simpler things is I want to start doing more kind of like one-off short form design videos. I've already kind of started posting some. That way I can save my long form for those really like experimental things that I like to do, but I can also add some more educational videos that are a little bit more the like beginner level, if that makes sense. I wish I could do the ASMR ones because I love watching them. Like I love, I think it's Taebom and Junail, Shuni Nail, like all of the Korean ASMR nail artists. So good. Also here in the US, you have like Susie XXI, and then Hadia, who's so sweet. I think that's how you say her name. I really hope so, at least. She can correct me in the comments below. I'll try to remember to tag her. But I love the ASMR nail tutorials. This one, by the way, is super pretty. It's got like these Aurora flakes in it. So it's both a magnetic gel and then a flake polish. And I love that. I love a magnetic polish that also has flakes in it. I think I said this last year when I reviewed the Aurora Queen collection, the Moonlight collection, because I hadn't seen one with flakes before, but I think it's just such a pretty combination. So here's what it looks like after curing. I just think those flakes add so much dimension when you shift the nail and you kind of like lose the cat eye effect. You still get that really cool sparkle from them. So pretty. All right, we're on to DG31. So this is another glitter gel, and it is so nice. It's like this iridescent, almost neon purple with these neon blue flakes, blue glitters. So cool. I use this in the K-pop Demon Hunter set because it's perfect for it with the neon blue and the purple. I also just really want to say thank you so much for 8K subscribers. That's insane to me, honestly. I don't know. I think about like this time last year, I believe I was celebrating maybe like 3,000. I don't even remember. Even when I celebrated 1,000, I was super blown away. Because if you think about it, if you put that in perspective of like, I don't know, how many people can fit in a football, standard football game, right? Like a high school football field. I don't know. It's wild to me that so many people like watching me paint nails, and it makes me feel, you know, really, really grateful as well. So there's one coat. You really get that blue shift. Super pretty. And I'm actually gonna do 2 coats of this one so you really get that color payoff. But as I was saying, 8K is just so amazing to me, and it does feel good because I've always been somebody who's a little self-conscious, specifically of my art and of like the creative hobbies that I do. There's 2 coats that really brings out that purple background color. DG32 is kind of the opposite of the last shade, where it's more of like a blue purple base with a warmer purple glitter in it. So yeah, I've always just, I used to do digital art. I didn't do it like professionally or anything. It was just a hobby. I would post speed paints on YouTube and things like that. And I've always loved being creative and like sharing in the creative space. But when I was younger, I never had the guts to like go further with my digital art. I worried that if I did it to try to make any sort of income, that I would get tired of it. And so I never really pushed myself. But this time I'm taking the chance. I'm gonna push myself. So I am feeling very excited, but also like a little bit of trepidation about going part-time. It's a risk, you know, but I feel like I'm at that point in my life where I have to take risks. Don't get me wrong, I love teaching, and there's a reason I'm staying as a part-time teacher, and that's because, for one, I don't want to throw all of my eggs into this basket. That's a little too scary for me. But for 2, I do like it. I am passionate about it. I like seeing the kids, and I like being able to interact with people on a daily as part of my job. But I also really love this. I love making nail content, and I love being creative, and I do want to keep that spark and love for creativity alive. And I feel like if I were doing this full time, that might be more pressure and make me feel like I have to treat this as a job. So yeah, I don't know. Does anybody else feel the same way? I know there are people who would like absolutely love to do their creative hobbies as a job. And it's not to say that I wouldn't. I don't know. For me, it's just creativity is so much about me enjoying what I'm doing, finding catharsis in it, very much like expressing myself and relaxing. So I worry that if I were to do a creative job full time, that it would lose a little bit of that spark and a little bit of that passion. And the last thing I ever want to do is get burnt out with it. Burnt out to where I have to take like more than a week break, because burnout's real, right? Everybody goes through burnout, and that's normal. It's normal to have, you know, times where you need to take a week break, to step back. I don't want to get to the point where I'm so burnt out that I need like a longer break and I stop loving what I'm doing, because I do really enjoy this. I love creating. And I feel like there's so many areas in which I can still grow as both like a content creator and a nail artist. And I'm just excited to learn and to continue doing that. So yeah, I don't know. It's a new chapter and I'm really excited. Also very nervous, but mostly excited. And then this magnetic gel is stunning. It's got like this periwinkle blue, I would say, base with the aqua blue glitters. And then the magnetic shift is actually like this dusty purple. So nice. I love the dimension in this one. So yeah, I just wanted to express my gratitude, because it really is thanks to all of you who subscribe and who watch my videos that I can even attempt to do this part-time. So I really do appreciate it. And I hope it adds some sort of value to your life as well. And like even these hauls, part of the point of it is hopefully that you get some clear swatches so you can see what collections you might want to buy, or even which ones that you don't want to buy, because I know that, you know, look, we all have a limited amount of money, right? Well, most of us probably do. And so we really have to focus on spending our money where we really want to. And there's nothing more disappointing than buying a collection and it just not being what you wanted. So yeah, I hope that these hauls give you like a realistic view of what things look like so that you can choose where to more wisely spend your money. And they make me feel better about spending my money on more nail collections that I definitely don't need, but that I want to try. Speaking of which, I do have quite a few gels that I just am not using right now because I'm so lucky to get PR and things like that. My new rule is going to be if I don't use something within the year, I'm going to give it away, because I want them to be used. I want them to go to people who will use them. A lot of those giveaways, I think I'm probably going to do through Discord, just because it's easy. It's easy to reach out to people through Discord to get information. I will still do bigger giveaways for like big milestones here on YouTube. For those like smaller giveaways of just things that I haven't really used and I'm hoping to rehome, those I'll probably do through Discord. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely make sure to check the link below for my Discord. It's also just a really fun community. Like, people share their art all the time. They share recommendations. People on there are so knowledgeable and it's a lot of fun. I don't know. Hope's over there too. So definitely feel free to check it out if you would like. This color is super pretty. It's like a deep periwinkle almost. I don't know how to describe it because it's like almost a navy blue, but more purple toned. And then it's got, from what I can see, like aqua glitters, but also purple glitters. I don't know, it's just stunning. And it's magnetic. And this magnetic gel is a little bit thinner than some of the others I've used from DVOK, but it's still on the thicker side, which means you can get a nice layer. Yeah, this one's so pretty. It's just like got that purple magnetic shift to it, and then underneath are those blue and aqua glitters. I love this collection so much. I can't talk enough about it. All right, and last but not least is DM57. This is another one of those magnetic glitters with the Aurora flakes in it and just an even deeper color. And speaking of giveaways, my next milestone one will be at 10K, so definitely make sure you're subscribed for that. I'm going to make sure that it is international this time. I think I might do like a big gift card giveaway for Sweetie Nail Supply or whichever supplier is closest to you if you're the winner. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hoping by the end of the year. That's my goal, is by the end of 2025, maybe we can reach 10K. I think that would be awesome. Okay, and that is the Unicorn collection. I'm actually gonna go ahead and I will turn off one of these lights so you can see it in all of its shiny, sparkly goodness. So I just turned them down a bit. Hopefully you can see a little bit more of the sparkle, a little bit more of the shine that way. They're honestly so pretty. Definitely one of my favorite DVOK collections. I think my favorite still has to be the Cherry Blossom set, and then maybe followed up by this one. I'm kind of hoping they do all of the colors, at least all the colors I like. So I really want them to do a pink one next, maybe even a green one. A green one could be so stunning. That would be so pretty. If they leaned into like the greens, more on the like lime green side, but also like the aquas, that would be stunning. DVOK, if you need somebody to help you with that, you know, let me know. Not that they watch my videos or anything. But that would be amazing. Alrighty, and then last but not least, let's talk Once in a Summer Season 3. So, guys, this swatch card is so nice. I do have the Four Seasons collection, which came with a similar type of like calendar swatch card, but this one actually opens up so you can remove these and or add to them. I assume that the next like Once in a Summer Seasons, when they come out, they're going to have their own card like this, and then you'll be able to keep adding them to your calendar, which is just so cool. So I did go ahead and already swatch them. This might be my favorite Once in a Summer collection. I do have the season 2, but those swatches are on like a large acrylic swatch board that's already kind of displayed up on my wall. So I've not gone back and swatched season 2. I actually don't have one. Some of the colors in there are really pretty. They just like, I don't know. They weren't my favorite, so I never picked it up, but these polishes, oh my gosh. The pinks, the greens, the purple, the blue, even like this red here that's more of like a neon pink. So stunning. This is definitely my favorite Once in a Summer collection from DVOK, and probably up there in my list of top 3 from them in general. I did recently do like a little mini tutorial with these 2 colors, or a little beetle look if you would like to check out my Instagram. Yeah, I'm super pleased with these ones. We will go ahead and swatch all of them so you can get a closer look. Now, I actually already showed these off in a recent video, that K-pop Demon Hunter set. So if you want like really close-up shots of the colors, check out that video, but I'll go ahead and swatch them here. This one is Pomegranate. And I love the DVOK formula for their syrup gels. I just think it self-levels so nicely. Like deeper colors like this, it's really hard to get streak-free. There's a little bit of unevenness on one coat, but look at how nicely that just kind of like evens out in general. We'll do 2 though. And you can see that brings out those like deep red neon tones. It would honestly be so good for like fruit nails, like cherry nails, especially like a glass cherry look. Okay, up next is DG34, and this is called Bubbles, and I also use this one in that K-pop Demon Hunter set. And it's this really cool glitter gel that has both like circular, super tiny circular glitters that are iridescent, so they shift from like an orangey reddish color to aqua, but you can see it at the same time. I think they're literally like circles. I think they're spheres. They're not just like flat 2D circles. So you get these glitters that have both that kind of like reddish orangey color, and then also the aqua shift, as well as some flakes in there. Unfortunately, I don't know how well you can see it over this background. Might be better marginally. But yeah, it's a really interesting one. It's got these really subtle flakes in it. So it looks like a sparse clear base, but it's got a ton of those hollow flakes. Not hollow, but iridescent flakes. After that, we have our next syrup color, which is DS85 Coral Reef, and this is just like a really nice corally orange shade. If anybody's wondering what the blue light is back there, it's actually my nail lamp. I've got it sitting like next to me over here. That's how strong it is. It's the LeBlanc LED UV hybrid lamp. You can now get it at Sweetie Nail Supply, and I love it. It's expensive, don't get me wrong, but personally I think it's worth it to ensure that everything's curing properly and fully. And it's just a really nice sheer syrup gel. I really like it. All right, up next is DM58, one of my favorites. This is Sea Sparkle, and it is this gorgeous pink with like multicolored glitters in it. It's got like a yellow shift for the cat eye, and then all sorts of other glitters in it as well. It's actually what I'm wearing on my nails right now. They're grown out because I've had this on for almost 2 weeks at this point. This was just the cat eye polish applied over my bare nail with a little bit of like a milky white at the tip to hide my natural nail. And it's just so pretty with all of the like yellow, pink, green sparkles and then that cat eye on top of it. And I'm super glad that Sweetie Nail Supply has been able to lower their pricing for DVOK. So this collection, I'm pretty sure is like $140 something, which means it comes with 10 polishes. Each one is like $14, $15, which yes, that is expensive in the world of nail polish, but for an import, but they're also just really nice gels and things that are, I would say, somewhat unique. You know, I don't know that I've seen a lot of other magnetic gels that are like this dimensional recently. I think that's a pretty good price. So here is Sea Sparkle. And then up next is the Scotch color for this collection. So the Scotch colors and the ones in the summer are all reflective gels. So this is a gorgeous like lime green. This is Clover Scotch. Super, super pretty. I love this tone of lime green. It's quite a sheer green, but as a topper on top of like a base color that's matching, so pretty. And let me shine a spotlight so you can see the reflective glitters. All right, and up next is another magnetic gel that I was super surprised by how much I actually liked. It kind of looked on the promo photos like it looked pretty, but it looked very orange. In person, it's very much like a peachy, rose gold, almost like copper tone. It reminds me of the Chilling collection, but it's got even more depth because it also has like purple blue glitters in it. I just think this polish is so stunning. Just with that gold shift and then the purple and the blue undertones from the glitter. I think there's just a lot of depth because of those contrasting colors that makes it really interesting. Up next, we actually have another Scotch. I forgot there were two. So this one is the Purple Scotch, and it's like the perfect purple tone. Now with these glitter ones, I do recommend layering just because they have to be a little bit more on the sheer side to let that sparkle shine through. So if you want good color payoff, use like a thicker layer or go ahead and do 2 layers. So here, I'll go ahead and do one more layer to show you how you can build up the color. So that one is Purple Scotch, and I'll go ahead and show you with a spotlight on it as well. And for the second green of the collection, this is a super stunning green magnetic gel. So it is this lime green with a super bright like gold yellow shift to it. I saw this and immediately thought of like beetles, like bug nails. And so I did that like trending beetle design. Like, it looks nice here. It's kind of like a little iridescent polish, but then when you magnetize it, that yellow really comes through. And it's a really nice polish. I do like that it's more of this smooth cat eye too, that there's kind of a mix of the different kinds of cat eyes between glittery and smooth. All right, second to last is definitely an interesting one. It's not my favorite from the collection. It's this sand color, which is like a milky white mixed with some glitters. So it's got some white glitters, some brown glitters, and it's meant to look like white sand beaches, which, hey, it definitely fulfills the job description. I'm just trying to think of like applications for it. I actually have an idea that I might try to film and see how it goes. That might be cute, but we will see. See, it has like a very subtle sparkle to it, which is nice. Kind of like how sand almost has a really subtle sparkle. Look, it fits the description well. It's growing on me, actually. It is growing on me. All right, and last but not least is one more magnetic gel, and this is Under the Sea, and it is this gorgeous like blue. It reminds me of the colors from the Dark Knight collection, which were more of like those jewel tone, deeper cat eye gels. And this has a combination of like aqua blue and more of a royal electric blue. So here's Under the Sea, and it's so interesting because it's got that like silky blue cat eye, the aqua cat eye, but then underneath you have these like iridescent blue purple glitters. It's super pretty as well. All right, so that is season 3 of Once in a Summer. I particularly love like these 4 tones in the middle. It's just such a nice collection. If it isn't sold out right now, definitely go get it. I love this collection so much. I think there's such a fun variety here. If it is sold out, Sweetie Nail Supply does a pretty good job of restocking. If you're not in the US, you might have to check, I think Aurora maybe like the European supplier, Aurora Beauty. So yeah, super, super pretty set. So excited to have this. Okay, so this is everything. I really hope you enjoyed this haul video. It was a long time coming. Obviously, I have a lot of stuff here that I'm super excited to incorporate in some sets. I think standouts for me, I love these Bevlah glitters, the Memoro collection. I did not get to try the syrups, but I'm sure the syrups are nice too. But I just think they're so fun with all of the different glitters. The Once in a Summer Season 3 is definitely another favorite of mine, for sure. That and the Unicorn collection. The Cristania clays are always a go-to of mine. I use them all the time in my 3D sets. And then all the little accessories I'm super excited to use. This Make-In Parts Gel over here. I'm also really excited to try this with some of the larger charms that I have a hard time keeping from sliding around the nail. I think this is going to be really good for that. The Sherbet collection is cute. I will say they are a little bit more sheer than I expected. I think you can probably build up that base color and over like a similar matching base, like a syrup gel of some sort, they'd be a lot more vibrant, but the rainbow is very apparent, so I do want to play around more with these. I will say the bottles, just so pretty. I love the bottles and I love the cap. It just, again, it reminds me of like a really nice lipstick almost in a weird way. And yeah, I feel so blessed to have so many fun goodies to play with. If you would like to support the channel and allow me to keep buying fun things to haul for you all, I really do appreciate everybody who uses my codes. I do have one for Sweetie Nail Supply and for Cristania Neri. They are both get pressed, but I really appreciate those of you who choose to use mine and support the channel. It helps out more than you know. Again, thank you so much for 8K. Check out my Discord if you're interested in some of the like smaller giveaways I'll be doing, and then 10K will be our big upcoming giveaway for both local and international subscribers. If you missed this section, I'd love to hear your feedback down below on my posting days. So do you prefer Wednesday or Thursday, or do you really like the weekends and want me to stick to trying to post on Sunday? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and also what you look for in nail art tutorials, because I'm thinking of maybe changing some stuff up. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just very excited for this new chapter in my channel, and I hope to bring you all along with me. But before I blab on too much, I really appreciate all of you being here. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you all for the next one. Bye.